You played 3 brand new songs today, right?
Yes.
Well, what are they called?
The first one was called Justice and Mercy.
Uh-huh.
Then we played Again, and then Have We Lost? That's what they're called.
So how are people reacting to the newer stuff?
I just kind of stared at us like, okay.
You sandwich it between the hits, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you got to do?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you play just for yourself or just for God or just like don't pay attention to that.
Yeah.
And sometimes you play to what's going on in the audience too, you know. But I think that those new songs were for us to test out because things change when you play them live, you know. And so if you play them live before you record them, maybe you'll catch those things, you know, so that you can change them before you go into the studio. So it's cool to play them live.
That makes sense. Now, like, when are you going to record the new album? Give us an update on what's happening.
We leave I'm leaving October 4th. I'm driving there with my wife to LA, and we'll be there for the month working on the record.
You going to do it with Howard again?
Yeah.
Howard Benson?
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like, because the last record sounded amazing. I mean, why would you go anywhere else, right?
Well, you know, we had our issues like compromising stuff, but what's been cool is that, you know, we're such a brand new baby, just in awe of everything, thinking we had to, you know, take everybody's opinions and advice. Like, we weren't allowed to say anything sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
But now it feels like more like, hey, they're regular people with ideas just like we are, and maybe our ideas are good too, you know? So it feels like they're more open to it as well. So it's good because we get to maybe do our own thing. There were some things we didn't appreciate on the last record that I think are not going to be issues this time.
I hear you. Well, I mean, last time it was your debut. You know, maybe they're going to look at your platinum act now. It's like how many years later? Like at least 3 years later, right? So
yeah,
you know, I'm sure they're going to take your opinions, you know, more to heart this time.
We'll see.
How's the new stuff sounding? Is it heavier than last record? More melodic? What do you think?
It's heavy and melodic. I really like all the new songs. I'm really excited about them.
Yeah, there's a lot of diversity. You know, Samir's written a bunch of songs, and I've written a bunch of songs. Pat's written a couple songs. Jared's written a couple songs too, and so it just feels like we're all in different places, and you hear the influence. Like, I guess on the last record you did too. Everybody's influence is different. Like, we all like different music.
Yeah.
So you hear that in the different songs that there are. Like, Pat's song seems to come out of nowhere, but it's still Flyleaf because it's Pat, you know?
Yeah.
So
lyrically, you're in a lot different place now than you were before the debut album. What are you writing about these days?
Wow, it's crazy. I feel like there's a sense of urgency, like, and I don't know, you know, it might not be that easy to say this, but honestly, if you want me to answer your question, I'm nervous to give some kind of message that's just my own, or to capture the voice of the generation or something. They say that that's what everybody aims to do, but I feel like stuff's happening, crazy stuff's happening in nature, and I feel like something's going on, like, spiritually in people. Like, they're tired of the way things are. I feel like we've been lied to about following our hearts, because our hearts lie to us sometimes, you know, and we've hurt ourselves so much. And I just want to know what God wants to say. And I want to make sure that I'm paying attention to, like, where I'm at and what I feel like, you know, the generation needs to hear from God's perspective. You know, like, if there's some kind of, like, urgency of, like, you know, this way is going to kill you, don't go this way. Or, you know, some encouragement, like, you know, you're so amazing, you're so special, you know, your life is meant for so much more than what's, you know, what you think.
Yeah.
Or something like that, you know. So you hear a lot of that. It's both back and forth between, like, an urgent, like, warning to, like, an amazing encouragement of, like, life is amazing, embrace it, you know.
We're looking forward to it. Sounds like a very positive message. Last question. We got a big election coming up here in about a month or so. Who you voting for and why?
Well, that's really difficult. I really have a strong anti-abortion, like, stance, and I feel like I would choose, you know, it's hard. I don't think I could vote for a president that's for abortion, and so that makes a big difference about where I'm going to vote.
What about you?
I don't know. My wife's really into politics, so she's made me watch every single debate and everything. So I don't know. Right now, I'm probably would vote for McCain, but it's still, you know, it's anyone's. I don't know. There's not really a good candidate, so.
Yeah, they both have issues that are.
Yeah.
It's weird, huh?
Yeah, it's not anybody that's perfect anywhere, but at the same time, you don't know. I mean, I don't think Samir's like, I don't know if I'm gonna vote because I don't know about, but it's hard. It's a hard thing. So you just have to do what you know is right. And really, I think the important thing is to know the issues and to know what people are, what you're saying you're for or you're against. Is to know the issues, know the platforms. And I really appreciate that we have a system where we have like Congress and we get to vote for our our government and the people in there. I just appreciate that. So I just think it's important to know the issues. And I don't know. We'll see what happens.
I'm with you on the same wave. Like I'm like trying to check out debates now because I want to know exactly what they're saying, what their stance is on this, and that. Like you were talking about with your lyrics, I think our country is in a definite position right now. We need change, and hopefully that'll happen. Well, thank y'all very much for joining us. I'm glad you finally got some rest because last time I saw this girl on the road for 3 years straight and you're wanting to go home, so I'm glad you're recharged the batteries. Looking forward to the new album. Is there a timetable you want to get it out, like spring, maybe summer next year?
Maybe early next year, I think, is when we're shooting for.
Good deal. Flyleaf, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Check out for the new record in 2009. To get more altitude, text ALT to 44688 or go to GoTVNetworks.com.